WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, Jerome and Tanner. Let's do it. Jerome and Tanner.
It's another edition of the WCB Podcast, a part of the Hockey Podcast Network, presented by DraftKings. It's Jerome. It's Tanner. What's up, bud?
That's about it.
Yep. 3 Hawks games on paper, if you want to call them Hawks games. It's a week to forget, which that may be the name of this episode, potentially. We'll
don't
bookmark
forget
that as a possibility. But yeah, Hawks, 3 games. And just when it kind of seemed like things were getting a little bit better, they weren't winning hockey games, but Bedard was back. The offense was kind of going again. Games were tight and close. And this fucking week happens.
Yeah, we went from playing Detroit pretty well. And what a exciting game that was. To having a few days off for the first time in what feels like forever. And then, woof, to say the least.
So, since we last recorded, the Hawks have gone 0 for 3, have been outscored 15-2. They've extended their road losing streak to 22 games.
They got shut out by the same goalie twice.
Yep. By the same score.
Yeah. Man.
And their 2 goals came against Columbus, who is not much better than the Hawks. But apparently they are. They're at least 3 goals better than the Hawks.
That's true. It's funny because, on paper, Columbus shouldn't be as bad as they are.
Yeah, I don't.
At least I think that they shouldn't be as bad as they are.
Well, it's interesting because I was kind of when I was writing up a preview blog, Hockey Buzz, about that game, I was kind of looking at it, and Gaudreau just hasn't found his game at all since going to Columbus. In the 87 games that he's been, now it's I don't know what it is, but at the time, 87 games, he has only had 70 points, I want to say.
It's not too bad.
Where he had 100 and whatever his last season with Calgary. Granted, he had more weapons with him in Calgary, but still, it's
Columbus has far more injuries too.
Yeah,
and, Line has been in and out of the lineup, so he's not consistent.
Ken Johnson in and out, and now he's done for the season.
Yep.
Fantilli's been out since the 31st of January with that laceration in his calf muscle, which sucks.
Forgot about that.
But yeah, so you would think that everything was aligned up for the Hawks to kind of, let's get a win. We need one. Let's get a moral victory here and get things going. And no, I don't even know where to start. How do you want to take this? Because there's really nothing to talk about.
Colorado, they got smoked. It's hard to watch those games, man. It's not even close. So this is this how I would sum up basically both Colorado games, because they're literally the same thing. Colorado drives the play. The Hawks are pinned in their defensive zone. They finally get the puck. They get it to center ice. They dump it in. They change, and then they're back in the defensive zone again. And that's just the way things rolled the whole time. And Nate McKinnon is insanely fast.
He is so good.
I think they scored from the same place on a lot of the goals, and just shot low blocker, right above the pad, and nothing that Mrazek could do. And you can just tell Mrazek's getting so frustrated now.
Well, I kind of said it too, and I know it's you can't say that for professionals, but I was saying in our group chat, I'm dude, they're probably fucking exhausted at this point. These guys that have been putting up big minutes and carrying this team to keep it somewhat close games.
Oh yeah,
and now it caught up with them.
Yeah, I mean, if you can imagine, in a regular game, sure, but in a game when your team's playing in your own zone for so much of the game. Being in position and literally shuffling side to side the entire fucking period, each period, Like he's got to be just getting gassed, and he's been taking such a huge majority of the starts too. That's just so frustrating.
Yeah, it's
I'm
so
just
bad.
frustrated for him.
He deserves better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, surprise, unless this is the first episode you ever listened to of us, Mrazek, we've been talking about how good Mrazek is this year and how much he's meant to this team. And this is right back to last year where it's like he deserves a win.
Yeah.
Like he needs that, like this team needs to figure it out and just give him a win just to like I know it's like so crazy to say, but it's
right.
like that's how ridiculous it is. Like that's how like
Yep.
43 games played this year, 13 wins, 906 save percentage. The fact that he's let up 10 goals. Did he play the whole game last night?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the fact that he's let up 10 goals in his last 2 starts and he still has a 906 save percentage on the season just shows how good he's been this year.
Yeah. It's been, I mean, he's still top 25 in goalies, I think, for save percentage, which is saying a lot since he's on the worst team in the league.
Yeah. I mean, 848 is on the 29th and an 865 last night. Ugh.
Yeah, it's tough when you're giving up 5 and they're still getting about 30 shots. But like so many of those shots are like high quality chances. It's so fucking annoying. Like Nate McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, Cale Makar are shooting from like the hash marks, like the inner hash marks. And I'm just like wide open. Like, what? Yeah, of course it's gonna go in. Are you kidding me?
You could literally play 5-on-3 with those 3 guys and they would still walk this team.
Probably.
And the crazy thing is, they really, I mean, they did factor in a lot of the points, like assist wise, but McKinnon's the only one out of that trio that scored on that first game.
Mm-hmm.
He broke the 100-point mark in that first game. And then last night, Makar became, and just like he's only played what 5 seasons this year in his career.
Probably because he's like 23, 24.
And he's already the all-time leader in goals, assists, and points for Colorado defenseman history.
Yeah. That's wild. That's crazy. He's played 296
Is he that good?
Games.
Is he that good, or is Colorado defense history that bad?
I don't really know if they've had like quite an offensive defenseman like him before. But yeah, 296 games played, 312 points. And he's a plus 100. Oh my god. That's crazy.
That's insane. But yeah, so they got outshot 33-34 or 33-24 that game.
Mm-hmm. And then it was 37-37 the next game, against Colorado.
And then against Columbus, it was a little bit closer, 31-28.
Still can't find the back of the net.
Still can't find the back of the net. Oh, I guess we can talk about this too, because it just made me realize with the Donato's goal against Columbus, the player's going after Bedard now, like behind the play, after the whistle, all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, Manson, or is it Mason? Mason.
No, Manson.
It is Manson. Fuck.
Yeah.
Finally get it right, and then I correct myself. Anyway, 2 hands Bedard behind the play and all the way back, and I don't know. It's like I'm torn on that one.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think what I'm more pissed off about is like what you said, that no Hawk tried to just jump him and rip his head off.
Right. Even if like you didn't see the play happen at first, like if he's on the bench and he's like, or he's coming to the bench and he's like shaking his fucking wrist off, and you're just like, what happened? You're like,
yeah,
chop me right on the wrist. Cool. I'm gonna chop him right in the ankle. Like,
I mean, it's a veteran player trying to get under the kid's head or kid's skin, and yeah. I mean, I think it worked. And then on Saturday, when Donato scored his goal, Bedard is literally just sitting in front of the net, and he gets cross-checked into the goal, like after the puck's in the net. And it's like, I get it's open season on Bedard, and the kid, he's gonna have to learn that he's gonna get targeted and all that kind of stuff. But I think Foligno said it best when he's like, yeah, these guys Crosby, McDavid, they all had to learn how to play with that. But at the same time, they're doing it with the puck. Bedard's getting it away from the puck, away from the play.
Yeah. That's because the Hawks don't have the puck ever.
It's true. And they don't really have an enforcer to step up for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think someone said, like...
Shit sucks.
Yeah. I think someone said best on Laz's wonderful article about how hockey sucks and everybody should hate it. They're like, do you think if Trouba was on the Hawks, anybody would even think twice about doing something like that?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Or Rempe, the new kid that who's
the kid's not gonna do shit.
He's not gonna last in this league. That kid, man.
If it was like Brady Kachuk on the squad, probably not. Like it was Bedard and Brady, that'd be nasty.
Awesome.
But they would be out there at the same time, right? Like Trouba, you're kind of like maybe he's out there with him, maybe he's not.
Yeah.
If he had like a line mate that was like skilled and could scrap, it would basically literally Brady Kachuk.
Yeah, the only other note I had from the Columbus game was the Cole Sillinger goal was a total Hawks fuck you Hawks goal. So it was assisted by Alex Nylander and Adam Boqvist and scored by Sillinger, who Columbus selected with the draft pick that for Seth Jones.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Well, Boqvist and Sillinger basically were part of that Seth Jones trade.
Right, yeah.
But it's like they just recently picked up Nylander.
Who scores a fucking hat trick? Like, what the fuck?
Well, not this game, right?
Not this game, but against, last night he scores a hat trick against Vegas.
Oh, that's right, Vegas. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. That's kind of fun. It's funny when stuff like that comes together. You're just like, of course, like, everybody contributes. Did you see what the season series with Colorado finished like?
It was 3-1.
Yeah.
And like, what was it, like
3 shutouts Colorado had for those wins.
Jesus.
And then the Hawks beat them 3-2 one time.
Yeah, what the hell happened there?
It was right before Christmas.
Oh yeah, they were checked out.
Probably.
Yeah. So, 4-0, 3-2, 5-0, 5-0.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
This is just frustrating, man. It's like we're not expecting anything this year.
No.
It's not like we're like, oh my God, this team should be winning and all that. But
when they don't score, it just sucks.
When they don't score, and it doesn't feel like there's effort there.
Yeah, you can see that it felt like there was a lot more defeat during the game. Whereas, like, even like when Bedard was hurt and they're losing games like 2-3, 2-1, 3-1, like they were pushing those games though, and it was exciting. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
But like this game, like Colorado goes up 3-0, and guys are just like, fucking, here we go again. You know.
And I don't even think like before it's like, okay, well, it's a young team. They're going to learn from these experience, like learn from this, and grow and take it on to the next season and the next couple seasons. And it's going to help them in the long run when it comes time to be competitive again. But I don't see how this effort this last week is going to benefit this team in the long run.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they need something to kind of rejuvenate them. Like obviously like the Columbus game would have been nice to like get a dub out of, but even that season series, like the Hawks lost that one 7-3 and 5-2.
Yeah.
Against Columbus. So who knows, man? Like I feel like anytime we think that the Hawks should have like a bounce back game, it's also like that other team's like chance for a bounce back game because the Hawks are so bad.
Well, that's what I mean. We talked about this before too. It's like the Hawks are that team that if you're a playoff contender or like you're fighting for the playoff spot,
yeah,
you've got the Hawks circled on your schedule, and you are going to take advantage of these 2 points.
You're basically going to choke them out because Like you're not going to give them any shot at trying to win.
Because Colorado is the perfect example of that. They were slowly they were in a rough skid right there. Like they're playing like 500 hockey, I believe, before the week, and they were slowly seeing them fall out of the race for a central title. And now they're 2 points back again. I mean, Jets do still have 3 games in hand on them, but now they're 2 points back. I'm sure they got multiple games against both the Jets and the Stars coming up. So it's like easy 4 points against Chicago, and now you're ready to go.
Yeah, right. Damn. Oh, it's so funny. The Hawks are so bad, and yet the Sharks are only 1 point above them.
Because they're shitty start.
2 games in hand still. Oh, well, coming up.
Well, first, I'm going to talk about Seth Jones.
Oh, okay.
His comments after last night's game.
Yeah, okay.
Because it annoys me because what we talked about last week with the whole Detroit situation in overtime. So after the game, his quote was, "I don't have any answers for you guys. It's hard. We just need to find a way to play together as a team instead of everyone trying to do it themselves and play individual. It ends up in the back of our net when that happens. We got to block shots for each other, back check for each other, forecheck for each other, be on time when you're supposed to be on time. If we lose a faceoff, do your assignment, know your assignment. It's the little details of the game that are not there at the moment." Does he not realize that he just called himself out for trying to do every single thing himself? Like, the guy plays the most individual game out there and has cost the team multiple games over the last couple seasons because he thinks he can go in and, walk it in and score. It's like, he might be an offensive defenseman, puck moving defenseman, but he's not good. He is not good at it.
He still only has 1 goal on the year, but honestly, how many shots does he have? I might as well just look that up.
Yeah, for me, I thought that was really ballsy to make that kind of comment about, the team needs to stop playing individual when you're the prime suspect.
He's second on the team in shots and has 1 goal. Has a 0.9% shooting percentage.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, keep shooting.
Keep shooting unless you see Bedard wide open on the side or anybody wide open that you could slide it over,
Yeah.
Don't force a shot when you got the pass.
It's funny because there's situations when I wish somebody would shoot and they end up trying to force a pass, and then there's situations when Seth Jones has a opportunity to pass and he tries to shoot. It's like, can we just get some different mindsets going for players?
Right. Well, I asked our group chat this, and I'm going to throw it out here, and hopefully it'll be irrelevant tomorrow because the Hawks will somehow pull out a victory tonight. But what happens first, a Hawks road victory or a Seth Jones primary assist on a Connor Bedard goal?
It's going to be they're going to happen at the same time because the game's going to go to OT. This time, Seth Jones is going to feed Bedard for the game winner. How about that? What do you think?
Was that a push? Everybody gets their money back,
Yeah, I think so. Well, I guess that the primary assist would count first because that's what that causes the game winner.
Yeah,
that'd be hilarious.
That would be funny. So yeah, coming up, we're not doing 3 stars of the week because not a single.
There is none.
Not a single person deserved one. If you want to talk about,
Ryan Donato was a -1 and had 2 points. That's it.
I think our 3 stars of the week would be Nathan McKinnon.
Zach Parise had 3 goals in 2 games against the Hawks.
Oh, and Jack Johnson too, setting up Parise on that first goal and on last week's game. Oh, talk about another fuck you. So yeah, coming up, Hawks play tonight or last night when you're listening to this against the Coyotes at the Mullet Arena. Washington on Saturday. So 3 days. So that was the great news is we get 3-day break from Blackhawk hockey after tonight. And then they are back home for a 4-game homestand with the Coyotes coming to town on Sunday. There is some opportunities to pick up some wins. At this point, I don't know. I just want to lean into to throwing it for Celebrini now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to like what moves happen at the trade deadline, if any, and then what guys end up signing with the team out of college and finish the
Yeah.
year with the team. I mean, Landon Slaggert, which we mentioned before, is like rumored to be coming to the Hawks once that Notre Dame season's over, and so it might be somebody like that kind of like gets a little kick in the ass to the team and like gives him a little rejuvenation because maybe he has like the little scoring touch or something right away. Like, you know how some players come in and like it's just on fire for him right away.
It's just and they're just like
Hopefully that's
just
something that could be just, nice to see.
just having somebody like new come in, just a breath of fresh air and all
Yeah,
that.
trying to like go balls out because they want to make the squad.
Let me see when. So
When
the
does
Frozen Four,
is it end of this month?
end of April. It's like middle of April.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, you gotta. I think end of this month is when like you kind of start knowing who's going to be in the tournament.
So end of April. Oh, you know what? I'm assuming like when would teams get kicked out the earliest? Is it like beginning of April, or like teams that don't make it, stuff like that?
I think it's like end of March
Okay.
because it's only like I think it's only 16 teams
Yeah.
that make it, and right now Notre Dame isn't even in the top 20.
Oh, okay. So then he might be joining the team end of March.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Let's see.
I'm just excited for that kind of shit because and then like maybe Nazar is just like, yeah, you know what? Let me just make the jump now.
Yeah, I'm curious to see Oakley.
Yeah. Just making noises behind me.
He's frustrated about Blackhawks hockey too.
That's
He needs to
right.
vent. He needs to let it out. Yeah, hopefully Nazar possibly comes in. That would be awesome. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens, and the next 3 months is gonna be really interesting for the Hawks. And you're kind of like I said, after the deadline, you're gonna kind of start seeing the direction that Davidson's gonna go with this rebuild.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it all still hinges on the draft. I'm curious to know if like they're gonna try and acquire like any extra draft capital for this year, or if maybe they start looking towards trying to get some prospects or anything.
Well, yeah. All right.
But,
So yeah,
like,
let's move in.
What's the deal?
Yeah, let's talk about Hawks deadline day, what it's going to possibly look like. We've kind of touched on it a little bit. It's not going to be crazy. It's not going to be busy. Anybody that had value has been re-signed, and unless they get blown away like a Hagel DeBrincat type trade, which I don't think anybody on this team except Bedard can pull a trade like that.
Yeah.
I don't expect much. I think the most likely person to get moved is probably Tyler Johnson.
Taylor Johnson, maybe Colin Blackwell. Maybe I'm thinking like maybe Antti Beauvillier still could still go.
Yeah, so he would cost the team would need to eat 50% of Johnson, Beauvillier, Blackwell. The team could probably take him on. He would be a great Blackwell and who was the other one I was thinking of? Donato, but he's got one more year left, so that might Taylor Raddysh. I can honestly Taylor Raddysh and Boris Kachuk I can see too being possibly moved.
I don't know. It's just frustrating. What if would you do Seth Jones for Jonathan Huberdeau straight up?
I would do Seth Jones for a bag of pucks.
Right, but like in all reality, because of the cap situation, take on Huberdeau at 10.5 for the next 8 seasons versus Seth Jones is 9.5 for the next 6.
Yes, because I think we can get more out of him at offense
paired up
than
with
we are with
Bedard.
Steph. Yeah, and then we are with Steph Jones on defense.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it would be 7 more years of Huberdeau.
Because yes, he's got an 8-year.
Yeah,
He started this year, I believe.
That just kicked in this year.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't even. That's not even like I would say yes to that. Even if I still believe in Steph Jones as a defenseman on this team, I think we have enough defensive prospects that are going to be able to make the jump next year. You can go out and sign a good veteran or two for cheaper for a shorter term.
Yeah.
And then with Huberdeau, you can establish your top two line, either a solid top line or a solid second line,
Mm-hmm.
Would you do this?
Man,
Shane?
if Taylor Hall didn't fucking get hurt, things would probably be better.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about Taylor Hall.
And I keep forgetting that fucking Connor Murphy's still hurt too. It's like I'm sure that would help out a lot as well.
Yeah, what's he even hurt with?
I don't know. I was gonna ask you that.
I honestly,
he's been gone for like forever.
Yeah. You brought up last week that he was out, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know he was out. And then you brought up again today, and I completely forgot about it.
It's on Cap Friendly. It says January 16th. Connor Murphy has an injury to his lower body. The expected duration is day to day. That's it. I mean, we've been going day to day for over a month and a half.
I mean, we're looking at two months next week, so
that's true. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. That's the funniest thing about like the NHL. It's like, yeah, lower body injury. I don't know. He'll be back at some point.
And the CU might be back anytime now too.
Oh,
he's been practicing. Yeah, he's been practicing in a contact jersey. He's been like running like the fifth line in practice.
That's good because I mean, obviously he's not like a game-breaking talent or anything, but having somebody come back from injury that's been like probably chomping at the bit to fucking get some ice time is going to be very nice for the Hawks. Also, he would immediately be the second highest paid offensive or forward on the team once he comes back. Oh, it's so funny.
I mean, his speed enough, right?
His speed would be great
to be like, oh shit, here we go. Because now you gotta watch out for his speed. You gotta watch out for Bedard. Like, I mean, that's how shit happens.
See you with Bedard and Kurashev.
Yeah, I would.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah. Why not? Every other combination's been thrown in the blender this year.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I don't expect much from the Hawks on Friday. What you're saying too about like, do they go for more draft capital this year versus like, future, whatever? It's like it's gonna probably be future because it's like
I mean, if they're looking at acquiring draft capital, it's probably the future. But I would say like what would make the most sense is like prospects they have their eye on instead. Because they have plenty of picks.
So are you talking about just straight up trade a pick for a prospect?
No, I'm not saying about getting any picks. I'm saying acquiring more picks doesn't make sense.
No, I'm asking like, are you saying
to?
Are you talking about the Hawks trading their surplus of draft picks?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying they already have enough picks. There's no point in going and getting more, but like whatever trades you're making, maybe do it for prospects instead and try and like fill out more like could be system guys because obviously we don't have like crazy assets to get like top like 3 or 3rd round picks or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like you might be able to take a swing at somebody that was like a late round pick that like a team may not like necessarily value as high because let's say like you're looking at somebody that plays right wing and whatever depth that team has at right wing is kind of stacked and you might be able to get them for like fairly cheap. And then maybe they turn out to be something. Like Hagel
type.
Hagel was a 6th round pick that didn't even sign with Buffalo and the Hawks just signed him as an unsigned free agent. But like guys like that, where it doesn't look like they have room in the organization for somebody, and so the Hawks are like, all right, yeah, cool, we'll take him.
I'm interested to see what kind of return Tyler Johnson's going to get, but if that's doable. But I think their biggest asset going into the deadline is going to be their cap space.
Yeah. Be the broker on a dealer or on a deal. Be the broker.
Because like right now, deadline cap space, they're at $42 million.
Yeah, that's plenty of cap space.
So it's like they can definitely
maybe Vegas
take
wants to
on.
unload Mark Stone.
Yeah. But it's like too, yeah, they can even possibly do something there. They could take on a bad contract, like a decent player who's on a bad contract for 1 or 2 years left. And that can help solve the next year's problem, and help transition us over, get us through the hump so it's not this bad again next season. Because I mean, it's not like it's going to be good. It's not like it's going to be cup contender, but they have to take a step in the right direction next year. Like there needs to be shown improvement next year, right? Like, or am I like just crazy to think that?
I think it would make sense to like show improvement next year, obviously, because like you're not really. I mean, all your contracts are basically up. Like you're starting from the freshest of fresh. Like it would make sense to be like, okay, now is the building. This is the year that we're doing that.
And when I say show improvement, I mean like going from 35 points to like maybe a little bit where Arizona's at right now.
Yeah, close to 55. So
yeah, like just that kind of like, baby steps. Like,
oh yeah, like I don't know. Obviously, I don't think they're going to be at 500 by any means, but hopefully win a third of the games that you're playing. They're not even doing that.
Yeah. 15 wins.
Let's see. A third of the games currently. Is anybody winning a third? Like Anaheim right now is at 47 points. They're 22, 36, and 3.
I guess that would probably be Anaheim, Arizona.
They have
would be
seven more wins than we do.
Yeah, Ottawa's even doing like better than the Hawks, and I feel like they're worse than us. Like,
yeah,
from the stories you hear about how bad their season's been going,
it's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
It's insane. This is like a venting Hawks talk.
Yeah, I know, right? What do you want? Do you want to keep talking Hawks stuff, or you want to move on?
I don't know. You got anything else you want to vent about or complain about?
I'm just excited for the trade deadline. That's it.
So let's get into the trade deadline here.
Yeah.
It's already kicked it off. There's a lot of rumors going around right now about possible moves going on. You got a lot of teams saying their players that were potentially trade bait or they're holding on to.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
is it Markstrom?
Markstrom, but I think that's a plan or a play because it went from the deal falling through with New Jersey because of retained salary to them saying, you know what, we're just going to hold on to him, to the New Jersey going, you know what, no, we'll take him with no retained salary. Like, we'll take the entire contract on. So, like,
okay,
New Jersey.
They're playing the weird game.
Yeah, New Jersey's a shit show. The
thing with Markstrom, too, is the fact that he's still got, like, another 2 years.
Yeah, it's not like he's a cheap rental.
No. He's a cheap, like, 2 years. You get the rest of the season and then 2 more years. $6 million for a goalie is, like, pretty cheap.
And for a team that I don't think that's going to make a difference. I don't know.
The Devils?
Yeah.
I mean, they fired their coach. You know that they're going to they did the thing where you fire the coach and now you're going to be good.
Yes, let's fire the coach with 20 games left in the season and plenty of time to turn everything around.
Absolutely. That's what happens.
New Jersey Devils.
You go on a 20-game heater because you fired your coach.
Sorry, 21 games left for New Jersey.
Yes.
I said it and I'll say it again. New Jersey Devils are frauds.
Yeah.
They have one good season, make you think, oh, New Jersey Devils, here they come. They're going to be, top dogs and, a contender. And then the following year.
Yeah.
Jack Hughes is what fucked them.
You get Taylor Hall with a Hart Trophy winning season, and then you don't do shit. Yeah. And then you get Jack Hughes and hitting almost 100 points. Team's doing hot, Vanacek was playing well, and then they don't do shit.
Do you know what really screwed them over was the Jack Hughes? People pay to watch me play.
Not really. I mean, he's been injured like a few different times.
But I'm just saying though, since he said that, and teams have been mocking him for it, they have been losing a lot of games since he said that.
I wouldn't
and then
say that's exactly like his fault. I think it's
I know.
funny. It's a good chirp.
Yeah, and then he goes and he has the opportunity to tie the game on a penalty shot with 2 seconds left.
Yep,
and misses, chokes.
He didn't even get a shot off, which is just so funny.
Jack Hughes is a fraud.
Okay, buddy. Trade Center.
It's never gonna be Patrick Kane.
No one ever will.
But the trade that's gone through, Vegas does it again.
Yes.
Conveniently finds a bunch of salary cap and trades for Anthony Mantha. Anthony Manthony for a second round and a fourth round. I've just had up. Was it this year's draft?
I think the second rounder is this year, and then the fourth round is in 2026. That is exactly right. Okay.
Yeah, and Washington also retained 50% of the salary. So Vegas still has $4.4 million.
It's just a rental, right? Because he's got his deals up at the end of the year.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
So Vegas still has $4.4 million to go and somehow land another superstar player.
I wouldn't call him that. Oh, two.
No, I'm not
calling
two good. Yeah.
Two
good a superstar.
Okay.
Yeah. They always somehow get like a big name player at the deadline and make a run in the playoffs and what?
I'm looking at the trade that happened for Mantha prior, from Detroit.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out how this worked out because Detroit got a massive haul for him. So they got Dick Panic, Jakob Vrana. They got a first and a second. And the first ended up being Wyatt Johnston. So I'm trying to see what the hell happened there.
Isn't he on? He's on. That's Dallas, right?
Yeah, that's Dallas, buddy. This is the way I love always like checking trades and finding out where things went.
The trade trees.
Yes. So that pick was okay, cool. So Detroit traded that pick for Wyatt Johnston to Dallas to get 7 spots higher in that draft to pick their goalie prospect of that Sebastian Casa kid. But they traded that pick, a second rounder, and a fifth rounder in that draft for it.
We know hockey games move fast, but with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you can score faster than anything happening on the ice. This week, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with code THPN. New customers bet just $5 on the NHL and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code THPN. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-878-97777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours of issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligible and deposit restrictions, terms, of responsible gambling resources. NHL and NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved. So Washington's kind of coming out pretty good in that.
No. Washington got Anthony Mantha, and they gave up a first, a second, Vrana, and
they
Panic.
Gave that up. Never mind. Yeah.
And then they just got a second they got a second and a fourth for him. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. My wires got crossed there about the return and all that.
It's all good. So his value definitely dropped from when they picked him up.
Oh yeah. Another trade that went through. Chris Tanev.
Oh yeah.
to Dallas. That went through last Wednesday.
That one's so odd too because New Jersey picks up a quarter of like his contract for a fourth rounder.
I think you said it, or who said it, that they're just trying to grease the wheels and be like, Calgary, we're here. We're helping you out. Let's make this Markstrom.
Which is, if you're thinking about like the main thing that they didn't want to do the deal with New Jersey for was they wanted them to retain salary on Markstrom, and yet they go and retain salary on Chris Tanev for the rest of the year for 2.25. Like, what the fuck?
Tell you, New Jersey makes no sense.
No. Which, I mean, even on the next trade, like Carolina steps in and gets 50% retained on Ilya Lyubushkin for no reason other than a 6th round pick. Like, I don't understand why Anaheim didn't just retain salary on him from like themselves. Like, Carolina steps in and gets that. It's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I like that one doesn't make sense to me because, like you said, Anaheim has a cap space.
Yeah,
just eat it. But I guess
is his contract like multiple years or something? No, right? It's got to be like end of the season. Yeah, it's the last year of his deal.
Yeah, that I'm not sure.
Damn, that's so.
Unless they were like they wanted like a second rounder, and Toronto's like no, so they're like, all right, fine, we got to find a way to get some salary off of this for us. I don't know.
It's just really funny to me that like Toronto goes and gets him again 2 years after they had traded for him before, and then he signs in Buffalo, gets traded to Anaheim for a 4th, and then gets traded back to Toronto for a 3rd and a 6th.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
So those are the deals they've gone through so far. So now we get to the what's going to happen now?
Yes.
There's talks that Pittsburgh is hoping the Jake Guentzel will be dealt. Trade will be done tonight, as in when this is posted. They're hoping to have that trade taken. Yeah, might as well. And there's very interesting rumors that Vancouver is in on Jake Guentzel.
Hey, they also have Phil Kessel possibly coming in too. So what do you think they're trying to do?
Phil Kessel has to sign by Friday to be playoff eligible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So the Thrill's coming?
So so if Phil Kessel is not on an NHL team by Friday, there will be no Phil Kessel in the playoffs this year.
Why must they keep us waiting?
Why did Kyle Davidson not just sign him then at that point, you know?
I know, right?
He's not going to be in the playoffs anyway, so we might as well, give us a show. Bedard and Phil.
Let him continue his streak.
Bedard and Phil could united Canada and U.S. together.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I don't see anything currently on any trades.
Nothing yet?
No.
So Chris Johnson put together his list of like his top 30, trade bait pieces. The most recent list I could find is from February 27th, so it is a week old.
Right.
So this could possibly change, but as of this one, he's got Noah Hannafin as the top player available right now, which you're Calgary, you've got to find a way to move him and get something for him because he's made it perfectly clear he's not resigning there. He wants to play in America.
Sayonara.
It's rumored he prefers Tampa.
Is it rumored that he prefers them, or is it just that like Tampa's in on him, Toronto's
I saw like it's been reported that his preferred destination is Tampa.
Does he have like a no trade clause?
Let's see.
Does he have any kind of like veto power? Oh, he does. Modified no trade clause. He has an 18 no trade list. So submit your list, bud. Figure it out.
He's got some say.
They're all
Florida
just Canadian teams.
Yeah, Florida is rumored to be kicking the tires as well on him.
They could definitely use it because Sergachev's been hurt because he fucking turned his foot all the way around.
Yeah. The thing with both Florida teams, though, it's like, I don't know. Do they have the assets and the pieces to make it happen?
But that's one of those things too, where it's better to get something than nothing at all, right? Like
True.
everybody already knows that he doesn't want to play there. He's made that like well known. So you offer him something, be like, all right, well, you know what? We'll just go after him in free agency then. Like, if you're done, if you don't want to make the trade, it's fine. You can just lose him for nothing.
You know what would have been really handy for them? A first round pick that they they traded to the Hawks for Hagel.
Yeah, they also traded a first rounder for Tanner Jeannot, so they don't have one for 2 years.
Oof, yeah. And then Florida, I don't think has a first round pick for like 3 or 4 years.
Probably not. Do they?
So
They still don't have one. Where the hell is Florida? Why can't I know?
Florida's in the middle.
Oh,
You're talking
okay.
about yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can't.
so they're 2026 is their
But
first round pick, but it's a
got an
conditional
asterisk.
pick. Yeah, it was already traded.
For Sean. What the hell? Oh no, this is part of like some other. Okay, what is
So
this?
they traded it to, I think. Oh, was that part of the Kachuk trade?
It's a part of the Sean Monahan trade.
No, but I'm saying that pick though is a condition. It was traded to Calgary conditionally, and now
Yeah.
Calgary traded it to Montreal.
Yes.
So now
Yeah.
it's got like condition on condition on condition.
Yeah, it says future considerations to Calgary right now to give up Sean Monahan and a first. Conditions or this is I love this stuff. If Calgary's 2024 first round pick is between 20 and 32, Montreal can take that pick instead. Result is to be determined. If in the event Calgary receives Florida's 2025 first round pick, which this is the 2026 one, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes. And so if they receive the 2025 first round pick, if both Calgary and Florida's picks are not top 10, Montreal will receive the better of the Calgary and Florida 2025 first round picks. So as long as it's 11 or lower, they'll get the better of the two picks. If Calgary's pick is top 10 and Florida's pick is not top 10, Montreal receives Florida's pick. In the event Calgary does not receive Florida's first round pick, some scenario, Calgary's pick is not top 10, Montreal will receive Calgary pick, and if Florida's pick is not top 10, is a better pick than Calgary's, then and was transferred to another team due to prior conditions, Montreal will also receive Calgary's 2025 fourth round pick. Sub scenario, Calgary's pick is top 10. If Calgary's pick is first overall, Montreal will receive Calgary's 2025 third, and the better of Calgary or Florida and Florida's 2026 first round pick. If Calgary's pick is second to 10th, Montreal receives 2025 first round pick. What the fuck?
Dude, it's just like Always Sunny, Charlie Day, like the whole board, strings going across, Pepe Silva, like trying to figure out who it is. Like that's
Isn't it Pepe Silvio? Isn't that what it
Pepe
is?
Silva, yeah. Yeah, goddamn, like I literally want to see the guy whose job it is to keep track of all these conditions and make sure everything is like on the up and up.
So the pick was sent to Calgary for Matthew Tkachuk, and it's if the 2025 first round pick that Florida sent to Calgary is a lottery pick, resulting in Calgary, in a lottery pick, resulting in Calgary receiving Florida's 2026 first round pick instead. Then the 2025 fourth round pick that Calgary sent to Florida also slides to 2026. That's funny. So then they're swapping picks if, like for 2025. But if Florida's pick ends up being a lottery pick in 2025, then their picks get bumped to 2026. And that's what kind of throws off the Montreal trade, which is so weird.
That's why it's like I don't understand how you're allowed to trade a pick that's has conditions attached to it.
You just have to add more conditions.
Yeah, we're gonna give this to you, but you're probably not gonna get it.
That's how the stock market works.
It's insane. So yeah, Noah Hannafin. The other team that I've heard rumblings in on him is his hometown Boston Bruins.
Yep.
And
Boston's in on a lot of players currently.
I swear to God, I got him and Dougie Hamilton confused. I was like, wait, didn't that already blow up in Boston's face, having him in town? And I was like, oh, wait, no, that wasn't Noah Hannafin.
No, but they were traded for each other.
That's right. Okay.
From Carolina and Calgary.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was thinking it'd be really funny if Noah Hannafin got traded to New Jersey, but Dougie Hamilton's currently not playing. But it would be really funny if they ended up on the same team like now. Not even on the teams that they were traded from.
I don't know. Second on the list, Adam Henrique from Anaheim. He carries a cap at a 5.825. He's a UFA at the end of the year. I kind of feel like people are waiting on Jake Gensel.
Yeah.
To move before, like he's like the plan B option for a lot of guys or a lot of teams.
Yeah, I guess so. It kind of makes sense. I mean, Tarasenko's out there still too.
Tarasenko, yeah. Markstrom is number.
Apparently, Buchnevich is possibly available out of St. Louis. Eberle,
which
maybe.
Now I saw something today that St. Louis is leaning towards becoming buyers.
Good, do it.
I mean,
I would love it when they just float in nothingness.
I mean, where are they even at? There's what 5 points behind Nashville for the last wild card spot. So I mean, it's doable.
Oh man, Nashville's in a wild card spot.
Nashville's won 8 in a row.
Oh damn, good for them.
They're tied with Vegas actually for the wild card spots.
They're tied
not Vegas.
With LA.
LA. That's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah. So
they're only 5 points back. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I said.
I thought you said 8 somewhere.
No, I said Nashville's won 8 in a row.
Oh, 8 in a row. Okay, that's where I'm getting the numbers mixed up.
Yeah, 5 points back. So I mean, it's doable.
Yeah.
So yeah, mortgage your future for a possibility to play on the second wild card spot.
Right, to play either Vancouver or Winnipeg, and you just get like smoked.
Yeah, do it. And it's Sten Bennington for while you're at it.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter that he's not due. Doesn't matter he's not due. Just do it. Just do it. Another interesting one is Sean Walker.
Yeah.
Or Sean Walker from the Flyers. The Flyers are an interesting one because they are in a playoff spot right now, but a lot of people have them as sellers, which makes sense because they are technically in a rebuild right now, and they're just getting a great performance out of their team.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious because they sold Provorov and Kevin Hayes over the summer.
Yeah,
and Tony DeAngelo. Yeah.
Yep.
And then they're in a playoff spot at trade deadline, basically.
So it's like Danny Briere. If the trade's there for the right move, right price kind of thing, it's like you gotta pull the trigger because I think he's smart enough to know that this probably isn't going to carry over to next season.
Well, I think knowing that these guys have such high value currently too, and that this is not the future of your team, because the future of your team is guys like Michkov, Jamie I was gonna say Cutter, but no, Jamie Drysdale. Who else do they have? Like the young guys, like Owen Tippett, Bobby Brink. I think this Tyson Forrester kid has been getting more ice time lately.
And they just signed Tippett long term too.
I think so. Yeah, they did
for like a really reasonable price. Yeah,
6.2. They have other young guys that are Oliver Bonk too on the defensive side. But yeah, they're going to be going a lot younger, heading into the next few years. I'm assuming next year, you'll see guys like Cam Atkinson be traded, probably Garnet Hathaway, Nick Delorier. Those guys just all have 1 year left after this season. But guys like Joel Farabee, Travis Konechny, who's absolutely disgusting. He's only 26. He's going to be the future part, a much bigger future of your team. I think it just kind of sucks for Couturier, who's on a longer ticket, but he's 31. And he's got 6 years left.
6 years. It goes to the end of the 29-30 season.
Yeah.
So yeah, 6 years.
So I mean, they have moves that they can make, and like the guys that they're looking to trade, I think they're gonna just be getting the maximum value for them, and like
Yeah, because
probably one of the
Walker,
guys that they would,
he's 29. He's
yeah,
due at the end of the year for a contract, so he's gonna be asking for a hefty pay increase because he's had a
yep,
great year.
yeah.
Who's the other one that they were talking about?
It's Nick Sealer. Like
Sealer, yeah.
some teams are trying to get them as a pair, like the two of them, because they're a defensive pairing. And I mean, they have great, like the two contracts between them are like just over 3 million, and that would be probably a great third pairing on a lot of playoff teams.
Yeah, like a lot of playoff teams need a completely new defensive line.
I'm sure it wouldn't hurt.
Yeah,
Like some teams can really fill out like a good depth, like defensive side,
Toronto.
especially. Yeah, fucking Toronto doesn't give a shit about defense. Are you kidding me? Um, but yeah, man, like that's like Philly's in such a good spot of they can win obviously without like having all of their pieces in place currently because they've shown it for this season. And they're able to make these moves and know that maybe next year they can come back even stronger and even make moves again next year and sell. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And they haven't wanted to murder Tortorella yet, so
Yeah, right.
So that's a big one. Let's see real quick. Jake Allen, if Markstrom is gonna really stay put in Calgary and UC Saros staying put in Nashville, Jake Allen becomes the top available goaltender. And I mean, he's got 1 year left at 3.85. I don't know if a team wants to pay that. I mean, Montreal's going to have to retain. I mean, they can afford to, I believe, but I don't know. Very rarely does a goalie trade end up working out at the deadline.
Yeah, I was going to say that doesn't happen very often where, I mean, unless they're a backup, right? Like, I don't think Jake Allen's going to a playoff bound team and being the starter because a lot of those teams have like good solid starters. But I don't know who would technically need like a more. I mean, maybe Carolina, just because they're just having goaltending issues. They're just so strong defensively. I'm sure he would be completely fine there.
Yeah, Carolina, probably anybody. We can get anybody because I don't know. Has there been word if like Anderson's coming back at all, or?
Oh, I don't know. Like I would think it's safe to assume that if he comes back, like what are the chances he's going to be healthy the entire time?
Yeah.
Let's see what other teams. Maybe Edmonton, because they have Stuart Skinner and then Calvin Pickard. Like I don't know.
I saw that
Jake Allen better than Calvin Pickard. But they're also still paying $5 million for Jack Campbell in the minors.
Right. They can't really afford to take on that kind of a contract just for
that's
a
not going to.
position.
Yeah, exactly. That's not going to help like every day.
I also read that they're confident in running with Stu Skinner as their guy, and they're going to focus on defense and adding some offensive depth. So take them off of the running for a goaltender.
I guess the only thing that would make sense other than Carolina, maybe like LA.
Yeah, nice insurance.
Yeah, because Cam Talbot's having a hell of a year, but I mean, they had that one streak that they were just like really hitting the shits.
Well, also
and
another
like
goalie,
David Riddick is their backup, and honestly, too, Cam Talbot's making only $1 million, so
you can afford it.
You can probably afford to put a little more money on the back end there, especially if it's like let's say 50% retained, right? So you're at 1.9 ish. For Jake Allen, and to have your two goalies being making under $3 million with them both being like pretty decent, that's not too bad.
Allmark is allegedly available too.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah, there was like rumors of him being traded yesterday because I guess he wasn't on the bench and he was just watching the game from the locker room just because there wasn't enough room. Like people were freaking out that he was getting traded.
Yeah, it sounds like they're Swayman is their their priority going forward is the answer in that.
Well, because Swayman's going to need a contract this offseason, and you're already paying
Yeah.
Allmark $5 million. And honestly, if you're going to go with a guy that's 5 years younger, he's probably going to want more money than the $5 million that you got Allmark on a pretty good deal because he was coming out of Buffalo.
Yeah.
So
So
you can sell really high on him currently, and then take Swayman, and then whoever you want as your backup into the playoffs.
trade Olmark, pick up Jake Allen, call
it. Honestly, like you can slide Allmark for like probably like 2 picks, retain the higher pick, and then give like the 3rd rounder or something to like Montreal for like 50% retain for Jake Allen.
Yeah. Couple other names out there. Riley Smith from Pittsburgh, Alex Wenberg from Seattle, who was held out of his game last night. Frank Vetrano.
He's making 4.5 too. Damn.
Yeah. Vetrano out of Anaheim. Matt Dumba potentially going for Arizona just to add another draft pick to their arsenal of 1 million picks.
Yeah.
And Jason Zucker actually is being held out of the game tonight against the Hawks for trade reasons.
Is it for trade reasons? I thought I saw somewhere it was because it was just like decided that he was going to be a healthy scratch.
Oh, the last thing I saw was, I think I saw potential trade reasons. So who knows?
Yeah, because there was something recently too that I saw. Somebody made a post that like some very surprising names were being held out of the lineup, but it was because like they just were late or something. I was like, oh shit. Oh, it is trade related reasons. You're right. Yeah. You're right.
Let's get crazy and we'll wrap this up. There's one name that gets thrown out there, not in serious trade talks. There's no legitimate issue with him, but I'm curious what you think it would take to move him. So the Colorado Avalanche acquiring Sidney Crosby from the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Oh, like what would it take for the Colorado?
Yeah, what do you think it would take?
A first, obviously, which is funny because like Pittsburgh doesn't have a first, so they'd probably want one. Also, Crosby.
Do they want one because
another year left? What do you mean? Do they want one because what?
Kyle Dubas always trades his first round picks.
Yeah, I mean, take that first and go trade it for something else. It's not like you have to hold on to it. Let's see. Okay, Crosby's got a year left after this season. Colorado's got all 3 firsts coming up still the next 3 years. Take Crosby for 2 firsts. And
why can't I see Colorado on fucking Cap Friendly?
Because you're blind.
Oh my god,
yeah, I am. I would say some sort of prospect too. Let me see what they got in their depth charts.
So would you say a 24-25 first round or 25-26 or 24-26? Which one's you going? Let's get
the
real
next
specific
2 years.
Here. The next 2 years. Okay.
Years. And then what's like, let's see, what kind of wait, do they have is this Cale Makar's brother? Taylor Makar? Are you kidding me? That's really funny. Who would be like a good young prospect? Do they even have any good young prospects?
What about Bo Byram?
Oh yeah, maybe that'd be good, but yeah,
you gotta throw it forward though in there. I think.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think Pittsburgh just like really needs to restock the shelves. That's why I was thinking like not even Byram though, but like it would be good. But like the team is so old. Also, Byram is what, like 22?
22.
I guess he could still be like, yeah, he would be good for them for the next 14 years. It's like
kind of like passing the guard of Letang to Byram, like
yeah, Letang still has fucking 4 years left after that. So you
they just signed, yeah. Though I still don't understand those contracts they signed.
That's the other thing too. Like Byram, I guess, just doesn't make sense when you're already locked in with Carlson, Letang, and Graves for at least the next 3 seasons. And what is Byram? Does Byram need a contract soon too?
2 years. So after next season, he will.
After next season, okay. So yeah, and then what? You're gonna pay him a lot more. Yeah, he's making 3.85. So he'll probably making closer to 6. And you're already paying
Cap's going
Carlson
up.
10. Yeah, but
Cap's going up.
You're already paying Carlson 10. You're already paying Letang like whatever 6 point something, and you're paying Graves 4.5. And
But then your top 4 is set
for one season.
Yeah, then you get Cap. Well, then
would make, in my mind, it would make more sense if maybe just 3 firsts.
What about Ross Colton?
Yeah, I guess, but I don't think he's got 3 years left at $4 million. He's 27, and if Pittsburgh, what they need to do is get younger. 27 is not getting that much younger. They need they need prospects that are 18, 19, 20, that Colorado has drafted somewhat recently. But even those prospects are just late round firsts if they had a first to begin with.
How about the guy they just signed today, Ivan?
No.
Toss him in there.
No.
Yeah, I mean Colorado doesn't have because they've been mortgaging the future.
What's their biggest prospect? Is it Jean-Luc Foudy? No, that was a 3rd rounder. What about this kid? Who? I don't know. I have no idea when they drafted these kids. Who would be a high prospect for them? Fucking. Who else could they give up? No one. It would have to just be solely picks.
Well, someone would have to give for salary cap.
Oh, who's this? Oscar Olesen. Drafted 28th overall in 2021. He's currently 21 years old. He has 20 points in 39 games in the AHL. Maybe him. I don't know.
Do you think Nathan McKinnon would be is there a way to take away some of my salary to have Crosby come out here?
Yeah, he absolutely would. How about this kid, actually? Callum Ritchie, drafted 27th overall this past season. He's in the OHL. He's got 68 points in 42 games.
What's his name?
Callum Ritchie. I'm going to assume that he's probably their best prospect because, you know how Cap Friendly has, the prospect rankings? So, yeah. He's got a line 2 A-. That's, their best rated prospect currently. So, it would probably revolve around that kid plus picks. I figure if they have, some sort of rating for, the scouting reports on Cap Friendly, then they're somewhat worth looking at least if it's a decent rating,
Let's see, create a trade proposal. I guess we can do this later. So I'm saying Byram because I still think that's a good pickup for them.
Yeah, if they move on from Letang too, or move on from Carlson, or move on from Graves. Obviously, you can make the space happen once you decide hey, we're going to be selling.
I think it's for sure 2 first-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
I think you float that 3rd first round or a couple seconds because to get Pittsburgh to retain or to bring in another team to mortgage some retained salary there because
get Crosby at 25% of the 8.7. That'd be disgusting.
Because that's the only way that would happen. But it'd be interesting. That would be one of those holy shit trades.
4.35. So getting Crosby at 2.175 for another season.
Would that be up there with Gretzky getting traded? You think? That's probably the biggest move.
Colorado just also has to give them cash. Remember when players got traded for just cash?
Yeah. Now it's just future consideration.
Yeah, that's just so funny. Here's $12 million. Can we please have Crosby?
I just think also be hilarious that Kyle Dubas refused to trade any of the core players in Toronto. And then one season as GM in Pittsburgh, he trades Sidney Crosby.
Just rips Crosby out. that'd be pretty wild, man.
All right, so I think that's gonna do it. Trade deadline Friday. I'm gonna do my best to keep social media updated with everything going on, but there's plenty of sources to check out what's going on.
Maybe just Hawks moves, maybe.
Yeah. Also, make sure if you are going to be talking trade and stuff, rumors and all that kind of stuff, double check to make sure that is the actual NHL insider and none of these fake ones that are paying to have the blue check mark just to mess with everybody.
Hey, I don't even use Twitter, so I don't even care.
Yeah, but
it's not gonna happen to me.
Just make sure you're accurate before you start saying shit, because it's embarrassing when you're wrong and it's fake and you get duped. All right, episode 265. What are we calling it?
What was the name earlier?
I did not write it down.
What
a week or something? Was it like something like what a week? Or a week to forget? A week to forget.
Hey,
that's what it was. All right, make sure
this year.
This has been the worst though. It feels like the worst. Yeah, it feels like the worst. Let's go 0-20. Let's go, baby. Celebrini. All right.
We don't need to do that. Oh, shit. I completely forgot. So, did you know? I honestly, I have to like pull this up again. But I read something recently. Did you know that if the Hawks finish dead last and they don't have any movement in the NHL in the draft lottery, the Hawks are still eligible for another first rounder or first overall.
How?
So it's not winning the draft like picking first overall like twice in 5 years. It's draft movement 2 times in 5 years. So if there's no movement and they're at first already, then that doesn't count as winning the lottery because you didn't move.
But you did technically win the lottery to
but it's the wording is not winning the lottery, it's draft movement.
I'm sure they'll be like, no, let's clarify. I guarantee you they would be like,
let me pull it up, see if I can find it. It'd be great if I could just guess. Oh shit. That's not it. I don't want the lottery odds. I wish I had it up. I just remembered draft rules. Okay. Here we go. This is not 14 teams. There's not only 14. This is a much older draft thing. God damn it. I wish I had it ready. I completely forgot about this until just now. Draft lottery rules. Sorry. I am just so messed up right now. I wish I could find it like really quickly because this is good. This is good stuff. I don't care. I know how the draft lottery works. Okay. Sorry. I'm reading. So the other rule change is that teams cannot win the lottery more than twice in a 5 year span. Okay, that means this isn't the wording straight from the NHL though. This is why I'm not taking this word for it. Somebody had posted it on like the Hawks subreddit, and people were talking about how like it didn't make sense because you can't win the draft lottery more than twice in 5 years. And then they posted literally the fucking rule, and it's like you can't move. You can't make a movement.
Okay, so yeah, if it says in the rules, yeah, you can't move, that's one thing. But I still think if it's like you can't win it, I still think if the Hawks win it this year at being dead last, that's still considered a win. But if I think it's the whole terminology with movement.
Not. Yeah, it's movement's the terminology.
Yeah, that's the terminology we got. I'm curious now about.
Let's see if I can find it. Because so this post by this guy Petey Mino or whatever is talking about if the Hawks end up keeping the first overall, he's like, oh, we should let Celebrini marinate in the NCAA for one more year, and then have the best chances at getting Gavin McKenna, right? Who's Bedard's
cousin.
And so many people are quick to point out, like, you can't win it more than twice in 5 years, can't win it more than twice in 5 years. And then somebody posted the actual rule, which here's like somebody writing out what it says. It says you cannot advance in the draft by way of the lottery more than twice in 5 years. You can draft first or second, both winning the lottery infinitely as long as you're not advancing in the order. So since the Hawks moved from third to first, that's one time in 5 years that they moved. But if they stay at first and we're going to get first no matter what, then that doesn't count. So they could technically get first this upcoming season.
Oh, why did you put that in my mind now? God damn you, Tanner. That's going to be noodling up there.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Oh, God, the hockey world's going to burn if that happens.
Here's the rule on the NHL website. So that's the move up limitation set. It's literally the second part of the rule. There will be a limit on the total number of selections, 10. Okay, that they can move up. Oh wait, no, of course I got ahead of myself on that. That's not the part of the rule.
That's like the actual draft lottery rule.
Limit on teams winning lottery draw. No single team will be able to advance in the draft order by reason of winning a lottery draw more than 2 times in any 5-year period. So this limitation will not affect a club's ability to retain its presumptive draft position in any draft lottery, nor would it preclude the possibility of the club moving down in the draft order to the extent of other clubs advance by reason of winning the lottery draws. So if the Hawks were to stay at first this year, and then let's say they're dead last again next year, it's not like they can't just let them be the first overall pick.
I was thinking about that too, yeah, because I was going to be like, oh yeah, so you're the worst team in the league. Sorry, you're going to be able to draft 10.
Yeah, you have to go 3. But no, it's literally like if the Hawks are dead last this year and they stay at first, then like that doesn't count. And then if the Hawks are like not dead last and they get first again next year, then that's 2 in 5 years. But if the following season they're dead last again for whatever fucking reason, and then they get first again, they can still take that pick.
So they can go 4, 5, 6. I mean, it's not gonna get to that point.
Yeah, and then it's just they have to be dead last in those.
No, let's just make sure that we get Celebrini and Bedard's cousin, and then we'll call it a day. Then we'll let other teams pick first, and we'll let them have the
like
less.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Except, I mean, Pittsburgh traded for like a first overall, but like Pittsburgh had Marc-Andre Fleury, and then they ended up getting Malkin second, and then they got Crosby. That's it. Just give us our 3.
Just give it to us. Come on.
Yeah.
We deserve it. Give it to us. Oh, Tanner, you put that noodle into my mind. Oh,
isn't that wild? I can't believe it.
Son of a bitch.
I thought it was like, yeah, you can't win it, but obviously, like, what if you're fucking dead last already and you already just picked twice, like first overall? Like, what do? Like, that's not how it works. So it's crazy.
Oh man, I'm excited now. I'm excited for shitty Hawks hockey. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, guys. All right, let's wrap this up here. Episode 265. Make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast feed, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Promo code THPN on DraftKings. Social media at WCB Podcast. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Love you, boys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jerem and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.